Many of you have already seen this. Let me just take you first to the video.
We're in Gulfport, Mississippi, Craig, and I'll tell you the biggest sign, the biggest indicator that I saw this morning about the force of the storm last night is that the mail delivery has returned. We saw postal workers going out delivering mail this morning. Just a couple of minutes ago, people were walking their dogs. They're back on the beach right now, and that's the sense that you're getting, that the rain has stopped, the wind is still going there. I think we even have a random person going around. I'm going to turn this way because, we deal with some people every once in a while. But, one thing that we are noticing is that the mayor said the curfew is still in effect. The curfew is going to be going on for at least until a period of time in which they can go ahead and go and survey all the damage. They did get some reports of some down power lines, of some trees that have fallen, or at least limbs that have fallen. So they're going to go ahead and do that survey to make sure that they're okay. Craig, I'm going to toss it back because we have a person who needs a little help right now.
Hey. We're going to check in with Shaq Brewster just to make sure all is well. There's a lot of crazy out there, a lot of crazy. And Bill Cairns, thank you as well. Again, we'll make sure Shaq's okay.
Okay, I'm a nonviolent man, but I do believe in self-defense. This unnamed individual would have caught them hands if he approached me that way. Now, big ups to this correspondent, extremely professional, dynamic in his job. Let me give you some background. This was on Monday morning. MSNBC correspondent Shaquille Brewster was reporting on Hurricane Ida. Now, I don't have to remind everyone how important that is. This man is literally risking his life, his cameraman risking his or her life in order to bring valuable information to those who need to know about the hurricane and the trajectory, okay? Dangerous work, needed work. This was in the Gulfport, Mississippi area when a man driving in a truck saw the reporting and decided to get out of his truck, run up and do exactly what you saw him do. We do know that this is a middle-aged white man. They have not identified the individual as of yet. We are waiting on that proper identification to bring that information to you. The MSNBC anchor is Craig Melvin, was righteously shocked by what happened, but he did give us an update via Twitter. Craig Melvin tweeted, "This is beyond unacceptable and disgusting. Shaq Brewster was trying to do his job on a beach in Gulfport, Mississippi. Shaq is okay. This guy who nearly attacked him clearly is not, okay?" And then we did hear later from the correspondent, Mr. Brewster, and here's what Mr. Brewster said. "Appreciate the concern, guys. The team and I are all good." Now, he doesn't want to become the story. That's why he's not going into much detail. He doesn't want to be the focus. The focus is his reporting. He allows the stories to tell themselves. He's not trying to be the focal point here. But here's the unfortunate reality. You have a deranged individual driving in a truck, running up to you while you're working. You cannot assume this person is just going to argue with you. I gotta say this because we're living in a time where we're giving so much leeway as it relates to these white male fragile terrorists, okay? People that are just angry to be angry. Now, according to the report, this guy, this middle-aged white male, he was shouting, report the real news or some mess like that. I guarantee you, this guy's a Trump supporter. He believes fake news all the time. And he's in that white fragility crowd, all right? So we do have a better picture of the individual. Can we put that picture up? All right, that's more of somebody identify this clown. Damn, I mean, let's figure out who he is, okay? Before the confrontation, a family had been strolling on the beach with dogs, so Brewster initially believed pets, not the man from the pickup truck, were rushing from behind. So he initially thought this may be that family he saw earlier. That's according to NBC News. The man was moved off camera for a few seconds, and then Brewster had the camera shift to another angle, being a professional, and an NBC News producer intercepted the charging heckler. Okay, Brewster used his forearm to shield himself as the man walked back up to him, incoherently rambled, "Report accurately," before the producer and the photographer were able to separate the men. The heckler then left. All right, here's what his boss said, and I'm glad that the MSNBC president, Rashida Jones, said something directly about this, because many times top leadership, they will not get involved in this publicly, okay? Like the consummate professional, he did not let someone intimidate him from doing his job. We're glad he and the team are safe, and we couldn't be more proud and supportive of their work. Okay, attorney, let me ask you this now. Let's just say he ran up on someone from Glenwood and he called them hands.
Yes, definitely self-defense argument. If someone is coming at you and it is clearly kind of a reasonable response to think that they could possibly get violent, as this gentleman was physically accosting him to a certain extent, then yeah, without question, that's self-defense. Also, if you wanted to bring a civil suit, you could possibly bring a suit of some kind of assault, maybe even a battery, depending on how close the gentleman got and if he was physically in contact with him, which it did seem to be the case. The thing that really sits with me here is that, we want to capture this gentleman who rushed up on him as being deranged, insane, not mentally stable. We have to realize that to the extent that racism was involved in this, that racism, these attacks, these are not necessarily mental health issues. And we just don't excuse for these people who have chosen to attack and essentially try to disrupt the system. And the reality too is that daily, Black people are often adversely affected by racism all the time. That impacts our mental health, the stressors, the fact that you can't even just do your job and feel safe without someone coming to try to undermine it and attack you. It's just, it's exhausting.
Yeah, I think we utilize that broad stroke of this person was not well, this person was mentally ill. Let's be very clear, and I'm studying law. You are a well-known and defined lawyer. The issue is, did they understand the difference between right and wrong? Mm-hmm. That's your issue, right? This man was driving.
Depends, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it definitely depends on how we're looking through the lens if we're talking about things like insanity. But this individual, they knew what they were doing. Right. This person, I think there's some kind of symbol, maybe it's a logo of somewhere he works. This individual is perfectly sound and capable. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were targeting him, and they decided to essentially act like they have all the privilege in the world and roll up on him. And again, if it was a wrong, different person, he could have caught those hands and been perfectly fine legally. But who knows how it would have happened if the cops rolled up.
And think about this, Adrienne, because there was a time when people like this, right, would try to do things outside of a camera. Mm-hmm. He's literally pulling up, getting out of his truck, knowing good and damn well a camera is rolling, because I believe he wanted to be on camera. I think he did it intentionally, because there has been this atmosphere around these individuals inside of their own communities that celebrate them. They become heroes to a particular segment of society. So no longer are they ashamed of their behavior. No longer are they embarrassed by the camera. They are now seeking it. This man literally sought an opportunity in order to get in front of a camera and to be accosting to someone reporting on a hurricane.